everyone, today I'm going to show you how to construct your vermicomposting system with a simple 2-bucket design. Your top bucket will need to be opaque. You'll need to drill holes at the bottom so that any extra liquid can drain out into this bottom layer. Next, add rocks, bricks, or wood to elevate your top bucket from the bottom bucket. Simply place your top bucket in, and now we're ready to get started with our bedding material. I prefer using shredded newspaper to get my bin started, so here I'm adding 2 to 3 inches of shredded newspaper. Make sure you're not using any glossy newspaper. Next, I'm going to add in some coconut coir. Now is a perfect time to add in your garden soil, eggshells, or sand. This is to give the worms grit. This is going to help them easily digest the food. So once you add in your coconut coir or garden soil, I'm just going to add in a little bit more newspaper just to top it off. If you don't have newspaper, you can use shredded cardboard, some straw, some compost, or sawdust. But my recommendation is newspaper if you have it. Now it's time to add in your worms. Here I have 1 pound of red wiggler worms. You want composting worms, and red wigglers or night crawlers can be used, but I prefer red wigglers. So you can simply add them into the bucket. But first, let me show you. There are little baby worms in here too. So the clear, translucent little worm in the middle, let me see, there you go. That's showing that the ecosystem in my already patch of worms is already doing really, really well. So next, I'm gonna just add my worms into the bin. I prefer to keep them in one area. I do not mix them around in with the newspaper. So just put them in one corner of your bin. I make sure I give the container a little shake just to get those extra guys that are hanging to the side. Once your worms are in, look, you can see they're all happy. I'm not gonna break them apart. I'm just gonna let them stay together. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in my food waste. My food waste has been sitting for a few days, and this is helpful for the worms because it already creates microbial activity to help the rotting of the organic materials, to help it so that it's already started, so that way the stored nutrients are readily and more easily available for your worms to digest. So I also have some coffee grounds in here with some shredded vegetable and fruit peelings. The smaller the better, so you want to cut up the pieces very small. In this bin, I could have cut them up a little smaller, but they had already been rotting for a few days, so I think we'll be okay. I'm a pocket feeder, so I put the food waste in a different corner than the worms. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna add a couple more inches of newspaper on top just to kind of give them a nice cozy bedding. Next, I'm gonna add some water. You wanna add about a 1/2 cup of water into your bin to get some moisture going. I added a lot of newspaper. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab sheets of unshredded newspaper just to top them off to give them a little roof like. And so I'm gonna put this down. Sometimes I'll wet my newspaper at the top and soak it quickly before I put it on top, but it's really moist out right now, and so I'm just adding a little bit onto the top of the worm bin. Close it up, and there you go.